Hi, I'm Sister Geralyn Schmidt, and you're listening to Musings from a Catholic Evangelist. So some time ago, when I was very, very, very young, my father brought my brother and I to a tourist spot called Fairy Tale Forest, and that was located in northeast New Jersey. I got online the other day to see if it still existed, and believe it or not, they just renovated it, and they were supposed to open in the spring, but because of the COVID, they haven't yet. Fairy Tale Forest was one of those magical places, especially to a 5-year-old, in which all the fairy tales comes to life. There were actors who were portraying not only the princesses and the princes, but also the witches and the evil people that are out to make the heroes and the heroines do bad things. But anyway, I remember quite vividly going into the forest of Hansel and Gretel. Now, I do not know if it was a tunnel painted as a forest, but all I know, it was very dark. And I was intrigued by the breadcrumbs that Hansel and Gretel left on the ground. And as a 5-year-old, I wanted to see if truly it was a breadcrumb. And to my demise, they were painted white rocks glued to the ground. So nobody, like a 5-year-old, would pick up a breadcrumb and saying, "Oh, I'll take it home," as a souvenir of Hansel and Gretel. But it struck me as I continue to chew on the idea of breadcrumbs and crumbs that I mentioned in a previous video, that this time alone allows me to chew on the idea of what breadcrumbs are. It's kind of like the image in the background, how in a dark forest, a deciduous tree in full color sticks out like a breadcrumb. But look at it this way. Those breadcrumbs, those moments in which God sticks out in our lives, those are also moments of grace. Little aha moments, little whispers of, "I am walking with you. I love you. You're going to get through this. You're not alone." The amazing thing about grace, sometimes grace comes to us like a fire hose, full force, screaming out loud, and it's one of those whoa moments. But the beauty about stay-at-home order is that it's allowed me to listen to the whispers of grace, to listen to God in the normal circumstances of my life, dealing with the sisters, going shopping, being online, working from home. Those little moments of grace, those little moments in which people say, "Thank you, sister," or "Hold the door for me when I go shopping." Those little moments of grace in which we see in television, messages written on the sidewalk. Those little moments of grace in which people go around and saying to grocery workers, "Thank you for working." Those little moments of grace that we weren't aware about before. Those little moments of grace, owning the fact that God does work through this. Think about it. Think about how God is present in your life. Think about all the grace, all the gifts that God has given to you, even in the midst of this craziness. It's humbling. It's humbling that God loves us that much, to whispers for us, to plant the seed of grace and watch it grow in full bloom. So as we prepare to go from red to yellow in the coming weeks, know that God's grace is alive and active, as much as the flowers that we see from our windows, the buds that are now opening to full leaves. There's the grace. There's the grace. Allow the grace of God in the whispers, in the breadcrumbs, to bloom in your hearts. You're listening to Musings from a Catholic Evangelist,
And I'm Sister Geralyn.